Good afternoon. I'm Ebihara. We are based in Singapore and India, Southeast Asia. We are the venture capital company. Unfortunately, we don't any investment in Japan. It's all on the startup company in overseas. So in Asia, it's a global company, United States, China, or Europe. So that's the joint investment. That's what we are doing at the moment. So we have global eyes, and those startup companies who are challenging the globalization or to become global. So I am quite pleased to be here. So can you introduce yourself, Takahashi-san? You start. Hello, this is Takahashi Machi from Storori. We have a headquarters in Kyoto. We do map service. We were an internal venture, but we became independent in 2017, and lots of backup received, and now we are active startup company. We have Kansai basis company. However, our platform can be applied to the apply globally, I think. So I'm going to talk about what we do later, but now, well, Kansai has history, unique history, and unique culture. And we wanted to start our services in Kansai, and we have learned a lot. So good to see you. Thank you. And when I met, it was 2016, was it? Before you start the company, right after. Yes, I think that was a Osaka City in Grand Front. They had the innovation hub, and they had this OSAP events acceleration program, and I was there. I was the first member of that. So you have grown, yes, and lots of VCs were there as a mentor, and then you were there, I think. Yes. So nice to meet you. Long time no see. Right, okay. This is Tsuboi Shunsuke from Sagri in Tamba, Hyogo Prefecture. This is an impact startup company. So we are using AI and satellite information and provide value for that information we provide. So what we like to do is for agricultural sector, we want to information that they can use so that they can reduce the cost. What we're challenging now is a carbon credit, provide information for the agricultural farms so that they can reduce the CO2 emission. In 2019, I was there for Get in the Ring, and I won actually. I had a victory. So that's been 4.5 years ago, but I'm looking forward to see what's going on. So I think I met you in Singapore last week or the week before. So what you are going to talk about, I'm quite interested. So let's dig deeper from here now. Right, okay. So the theme today, starting from Kansai. Well, that means starting from Japan, and how they can attack, how they can take on global challenge, how they can join global market. The know-how and the experiences, that's what we are interested. So you are the pair of you have lots of knowledge. And having said that, however, there should be 2 points. One, and competitiveness of your production, that is largely sometimes people miss this point, right? And then, so you have to calm down and think, do your products have competitiveness in a globe? And then move on to value proposal. You have to define value proposal. And then you have to say something like, well, our products has product value enough to challenge globe. So value props. What is your value props? Compared to large company, giant company, you have confidence that you can win. Right, okay, so let me just use this slide. Our value proposition is this, using illustration, and then we provide map information. So Google Map. That's rather general things, but depending on what you like, you can choose this the illustrated map. GPS. It's quite difficult to link with GPS, but we have solution. We found the solution, and we are now the largest platform of this illustrated map system. And normally, you are given was the shortest distance or the quickest way to reach the destination, but that's not what we want. You can use it any way you want. However, illustration technology and anime, Japanese anime, can be imported to overseas. And not instead of showing the shortest way, but we like to give more freedom so that you can stride along with along the way. You can find many fun. So in Vietnam, city promotion, they decided to use our technology for city promotion. And this is an area under development. And other things can be quite attractive. Including future vision, they are using our technology to appeal how attractive their cities are. And other information like buses, as a media, they can introduce those information. So these are the cities that using our technology. So, for instance, in a large conference center in the United States, or the spaces, the many multiple events are taking place at once. So this is quite handy. Information can quite handy using our sort. And for instance, in Japan, like Gion Festival, to mitigate large crowd control, our technology comes in handy. And this is heat maps. So where the people are gathered together, so congestions are. So it's rather than description of city rather than maps. That's what we do. That's the value proposition that we have. So as for data, high-touch interface you using, and the secrets as a secret source, you have strengths like from Kyoto or resources from Kyoto. I was in Kyoto. From Tokyo to Kyoto, Kyoto from Osaka, and then I found new shop opened up in Kyoto station. Well, anyway, that's your brand power, global brand power. You have Kyoto essence as well. It's strengths. South by at the paper version of map, and we put QR code on it, and then you have to read the QR code. Then map will appear on the screen. Then I asked them to use this map.
Such a sales power, so you have enjoyed. So what's the tip of your sales power, sales activity power? So there is a contact information everywhere, and so I contact every contact. So I try to contact such contact information so that we can enhance and spread network. So without any hesitation, I try to contact every person. And how about Tsuboi-san? What's your strengths and value proposition? So as for South by Southwest, so actually I am the first Japanese finalist at South by Southwest. That's part of the reason why I was entitled to put our product on the paper map. In my side, so I visualize the farmland current status based on the high-resolution satellite image. And we are doing business in about 12 countries. And the farmland plot, in particular in emerging countries, each farmland is very small. And we zone each farmland and analyze data. So information we can gain from satellite data is including source analysis of soil environment. And currently, so they are using fertilizer a lot. However, and they like to reduce the use of fertilizer because it costs too high. And we can give information such as pH, carbon, and nitrogen, and based on such data, they can control the amount of fertilizer. And in the end, they are able to reduce the amount of fertilizer. In Japan, the farmland is very small. Therefore, so we are very good at grasping the actual situation of farmland. So even for small farmland, we are able to provide our solution. And in many Asian countries, farmland is very small, like Japan. This is why we can apply our solution in these countries. On the other hand, in the US and European countries, so they are very good at AI and the satellite solution. However, the situation is completely different because their farmland is so large. That's why it's very difficult for them to apply their technology to countries with small farmland. I think this is our advantage. So purchasing, collecting satellite data, and you apply polygon technology to give your solution. This is what you are doing. And you are targeting area that has similar situation like Japan. This is what you explained so far. So what you like to say is that you should target the area, or you should you should focus the area where your technology can be applied. So originally, I started my business to find a solution to all problems emerging countries are facing. That's why we started business by utilizing satellite data. As a buyer side, maybe Singapore, EU, and US. However, in our case, our solution should be applied to emerging countries. So as for carbon offsetting, target would be developed countries. But so your operation is conducted in emerging countries. That means that you monetize your business in developed countries like US and European countries, right? Yes. How about in emerging countries? So far, so we are collecting money from farmers' cooperative in emerging countries and so on. However, that was not sustainable actually. So therefore, we changed our strategy. In the case of Asia and other emerging countries, So when it comes to globalization, the best way is to enter into a market with similar situation. This is a traditional and a typical way to start with. But so as for emerging countries, in your case, they are not so rich. They don't have enough money to pay for the solution. So that's why, as for carbon offsetting, you receive money from developed countries such as US and European countries. When I first entered the Indian market, so our target or focus was microfinancing. At that time, so bank was our customer. So as for farming information, so this is a kind of software that can manage farmers. And farmers cooperative and small companies were our customers. However, we didn't make enough profit there because there are so many people who are not affordable to this business. I think this is a very good takeaway for you. Agri-tech or agricultural ventures are here and there, but they have struggle in monetization. The problem is very big, and agri-tech is becoming a boom, but actually it is very difficult. So our company has invested such agri-tech companies, but the one company went bankrupt actually. This is a current situation. So therefore, you need to change your tactics or strategy. So receiving money or making a profit from developed countries while doing business in emerging countries is a good way to start with, I think. And suppose that you are confident enough to make a profit with your solution. And in your case, Asia and India are your focus. And going forward, maybe US and so on. But when you do your business globally, so you need to hire talent. In my case, my base is in Singapore, where there are lots of talent. Our company has invested in India a lot. So same thing happens in India. There are lots of talent in India as well. But in Japan, when we do business normally, there are only Japanese employees around us. Therefore, so we need to hire and we need to find and hire those who are good at English or who has a global mindset. This is why Japanese companies have struggled in terms of talent. So how you find and retain talents? At the beginning, we relied on referral. When I started business in India, word of mouth was a key for us when it comes to the hiring talent. For CEO and back office, we employed local people, but it failed actually. So there was a separation after the pandemic. I think there are two ways. If we empowered too much to local people, maybe the culture is different. Therefore, we will have struggle. But recently, so there are some Japanese companies working locally. However, we at the same time employ local people with a high management level, with the same management level. How to hire talent is that at first, as I said, I relied on referral, but now I also rely on LinkedIn. Furthermore, AI will be one of the ways to rely on SnapHand, LinkedIn. So we don't have any conflict of interest, but I use this solution a lot. And in other countries, in particular, when we try to hire local people, I believe that the SnapHub and the LinkedIn are major platform for hiring. And the Japanese tend to rely on LinkedIn to find the talent, including me, myself, and directly contact a potential person, and vice versa occurs.
Well, I started this VC, so I cannot change job, swap job. Well, anyway, I have another question for Tsuboi-san. Management, C-suite, all those top managements, they have to be global, right? What do you think? What's your take? Well, our Japanese team, Japanese management, they are still only Japanese. But with global background, it's mandatory. So we say 3 years or longer experience in overseas. Otherwise, they cannot be management. And so we are now thinking about moving into Europe. And as a CEO now, they are not in Japan, they are overseas at the moment, so they are gaining lots of experiences. So those people we hired through referral. So in the board member, non-Japanese, how do you take it? I am quite aggressively promoting this approach. So 50% of the board member should be global member. Is there any difficulty? Or it just happened? Well, I couldn't find someone who can overseas all global. But as I said, we are doing referral basis approach. So the community that we found is not actually globalized. So now we are working on that one. So this is quite deep discussion I'm having with him. I have spoken to lots of people about this. So global operation team, this is given. However, for instance, Vietnam, and of course they need local people. However, headquarters, do they have to be global? Or starting member? Probably it's better to have global talent there. And my presumption is 100% yes. That's the conversation they had before. But I have some, benefit of doubts, actually. So, for instance, Toyota, but they are number one, global number one, but they are not exactly global. Probably Uniqlo, same. But SoftBank? But SoftBank, they all quit, didn't they? But at the headquarters, somebody came back to the headquarters. The good example in China. ByteDance, Alibaba, Tencent, they are all domestic company, but I think the only number two, they are Chinese American, I believe. So in the top 5 appli was made in China, in the United States. So they are quite aggressive. But ByteDance, my company has headquarters in Singapore, and right next to my building, they have offices. But they're not global. So I want to talk to you more, but I don't have time. So Takahashi-san, so with regard to human resources, in Kansai, if you want to become global company, how do you find people? What is going on? how do you find in talent and the staff member? In Kansai, there's less movement. I mean, the turnover is quite low in Kansai, so not many people do job hopping compared to Tokyo, for instance. So when we talk about global talents, then I think we can find less and less in Kansai area. So we struggled to find good talent in Kansai. So, for instance, when we go overseas for events or exhibition, we do some pitch and trying to access those talent pool. But when for instance, what we can do is collaborating with university internship. Yes, it's quite hard. Another one. Singapore, well, be it whatever. When try to find the overseas employees, then, for instance, so where are you from? What your company is in? You are in Kyoto, right? You have bases in Kyoto. So you have absolute brand power, and then that is your strength to attract more people to work for you, right? Okay, yeah. I have culture, I have history, as our armor, and then Kyoto is one of them. Well, as for Japan, how do you see? I have been asked same question many times from overseas people. Japanese company, right, is your question. They don't know much about Japanese company. Japan as a brand, they know lots about Japan, and the respect is getting higher and higher. But as a Japanese corporation, they do not know much about Japanese corporation. So the presence is quite low. They need to sort of work hard. So that's why Storori, like us, we are unique and provide rare services, so they pay attention to. So, but as a company in general, Japanese company in general, they don't know. Now, starting from Kansai, what's good about it? So the first startup from Kansai, what is the benefit being? So can you give us one or two? Don't say none. Well, in every sense, we are second best compared to Tokyo. I started in Tamba City in Hyogo Prefecture. And in the Kansai community, I was given lots of opportunities. And then we climbed up. If we started in Tokyo, and I don't think we succeeded. So I'm so grateful about the opportunity given. So that's why my company's presence is in Kansai. I'm not going to keep it. But that doesn't mean I'm always in Tamba. So when you start from Kansai. And the support is great. And then when you have a footing, then you can move to Tokyo. And then you can, of course, keep the headquarters in Kansai, or you can move on to Tokyo. So we are talking about Kansai, and the Kansai region manufacturing sector is quite large. The manufacturing sector has to be globalized, naturally, and then many companies. That's the ecosystem, right? But do you feel it? Well, in terms of investment ecosystem, that touches my heart as well. However, so maybe you can find better linkage to those. So yes, well, and in terms of business collaboration, we have some agricultural device company as our clients. So just to Kansai, shining company in Kansai, starting from Kansai, and the large company, large manufacturing company, global manufacturing company starting from Kansai. So they should link each other more. So I have a question for Takahashi-san. So what is the challenge being startup from Kansai? Well, I would say human resource issue. And like Tsuboi-san, I'm from Kansai, and I was glad I originated from Kansai because I had huge support. However, Tokyo, BC, most of the many investments are coming from Tokyo, BC. So in terms of investment, well, I think that's something we should do more. Right, okay, so the quality and the quantity both, right? Yes. And community, Osaka or Kansai community is sort of, it's not there. Well, we have Kyoto community, Kobe community, Osaka community. They are physically, they're close together, but as a Kansai, as a large regional community, it's not there, I feel. So yeah, that's something we want, right? Yes. In the end, well, we don't have much time left. So I like to ask you the message for the audience, or resolution, or maybe you can do PR. We are looking for type of person. Whatever you like to say as a closing remarks. Takahashi-san, you start. Yes. Well, we say Kansai. Well, Kansai region is now working towards Expo. And we are now making platform using lots of Kansai map so that travelers from overseas you can use it for the Expo. And we like to see more users for our device. As a J Startup Impact, we received large support from the governments. And as one of the company who started from Kansai, I like to take this opportunity, and I like to show my gratitude first of all, and then take this opportunity to become to realize our large vision. And to do this, we have to be successful in Japan, then become successful in the globe. So if you are thinking about starting up company, then I would very much like you start from Kansai, and we move ahead and you move ahead. So we can collaborate together. Thank you for your lovely message. So in terms of business, in terms of human resources, in terms of investment, so this I can provide this can provide a good opportunity to get in touch with them, those two of them. Thank you.